What's up, guys? It's phenomenal AJ Styles, and you are watching, or you may be listening to the OMG Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome everybody to the OMG Wrestling Podcast. This is a special episode you'll be seeing on the weekend. That's right, that means we're joined by a guest of honor. Chase is actually away taking care of family stuff right now, so I am doing the OMG Wrestling Podcast with a buddy of mine, Michael Monsoon. He is an independent professional wrestler. He works for Magnum Pro High Caliber Live Entertainment. He works for OVW. He's trying to get out there and make a name for himself on the independent scene, wrestling, having a good time, and this is a really fun episode. We chat about all kinds of great stuff. We have a good time. He tells some hilarious stories along the way, and overall, it's just a really, really good time. So you guys definitely do want to stick around and watch this entire episode because we have upcoming guests, and if you guys like this kind of thing, we'll be having more guests like Michael Monsoon, and coming up soon we're going to have Mason Ryan on the show, which is going to be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Recently released from the WWE is Mason Ryan, and he's going to be on an upcoming episode of the podcast. Before we get into the interview, I do want to let you know about a couple ways to support the show. The number one way to support the show, and the free way, is to just share this video. Like the video, leave a comment, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I don't know. Do people do that? I don't understand. Friendster, MySpace, share it. Get it out there. That's the best way that you can do. Tell everybody about the OMG Wrestling Podcast. Number two, free way. Go to omgwrestling.com. Check out all of our podcasts, all of our previous episodes, and that's about the easiest way to support us. If you do want to support us monetarily, you can do via donation at omgwrestling.com/donate. Any donation monetarily is helpful. And we also do have Amazon. Amazon is the best way to buy products online, and you will help support the show in the process. All you do is buy things on Amazon normally through our link, and a kickback comes back to us, and it helps support the show, helps us do bigger and better things. Go to omgwrestling.com/Amazon. And speaking of Amazon, if you do want to use Amazon Prime, and you've never used Amazon Prime, I will give you some information on Amazon Prime. If you sign up, you get Kindle books. That's right. If you're a reader, I know you don't want to go out and buy a book. Who carries books around? We just carry around our Kindles, our tablets, our smartphones. That's what you want to do. You can get those books through Amazon. Amazon Prime, you get all the books you want. Plus, you get that streaming service. I know there's a lot of people out there that like to watch digital content. I am a huge fan of digital content, and Amazon Prime works perfect for me because I get those streaming movies. You get old movies plus new movies that just come out, plus original series. It's a great service. And last, you get free 2-day shipping on all the products you order through Amazon. It's great. I wouldn't turn back. I use it myself. I don't tell you guys to use things that I don't actually use, so make sure that you use Amazon. Go through Amazon Prime at omgwrestling.com/prime. Now, let's get right into the episode. Michael Monsoon, independent professional wrestler. I don't know where to start this off, but I'm joined with Michael Monsoon, pro wrestling superstar Michael Monsoon, I guess.
Superstar I am.
Is that what you want to be known as? I don't know what that's the worst proper introduction I think I could possibly do.
It is, but I've been called worse things.
Pro wrestling superstar legend Michael Monsoon, known for his stint. I don't want to use that word. It seems like you're not there anymore.
Don't you put a stint up your penis, dude?
Your stint in OVW, your stint in Magnum Pro, and your stint in 3XW. You're all over the place, making a name for yourself. In Magnum, you're known for the Church of Yoko Zumba. You want to tell people about Yoko Zumba if they want to get into that workout program?
Okay, pretty much Yoko Zumba is all about leg strength. I developed this program from watching sumo wrestling, and I'm like, man, those guys got some really strong legs, and they're fat. But then I was looking around since, being around Nebraska, there's a bunch of fat people, but they have no leg strength. And I felt really bad for them because they can't barely stand up and walk on their own without having huge cankles. So pretty much it's all sumo moves for the fat people to get strong legs. And I just had some guys that wanted to join and put in their own little twist in it. And so the Church of Yoko Zumba was developed from that.
So now the church consists of you, which you're currently suspended from Magnum Pro Wrestling for using a brick.
Yeah, and it still didn't pretty up strongman Nate Red Wing at all. He's about as dumb as that brick, actually.
So you have you, Javier. How did you find Javier, your head of security?
Well, I was watching him one day. He was saw him in the bar. He was doing like this Dance Revolution by himself. And I was like, man, that guy's got some moves. But then I saw some people were picking on him, and he took them all out. He's a fist fighter. And I was like, that guy needs to protect me. And that night when I approached him, I was like, what is your name? And he's like, my name's Javier. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. But I'm like, I have all these fat chicks trying to touch me. Can you keep those sweat hogs away from me? And he's done a perfect job since. He doesn't win me any matches, but that's all right.
I feel like Dance Revolution and Yoko Zumba go hand in hand.
They do. And I'm trying to get him down a little bit, probably to, I don't know, he's probably about 600 pounds. No, he's probably about 300 pounds. I'm trying to slim him down a little bit.
Do you have a certain workout diet that you have him on or anything like that? Or you just...
It's as much rice as the eye can see. So he's just eating rice. That's all he's eating. But I think he's also eating hot dogs on the side and kind of cheating on the diet. But
oh yeah, rice could be kind of old after a while. I understand that. And probably, do you guys in that sushi and stuff? Are you into all that, or is it just strictly rice?
I don't really like to eat raw fish, so I'm not really into the sushi thing. We just eat rice. We sit around, we just use our hands, and we just eat rice out of the bowl. Sometimes we'll drink it like cereal.
All right, so you also have Dave Clark, and Dave Clark's sort of a new member. How did you get him in your group?
All right, David Clark and I have we go back a long ways. Prior, when I first came to Magnum, I was a screwed up individual at the time. So Dave and I formed a tag team before then, and we did not lose one single match until we wrestled Guns and Beer. And then we kind of had a falling out, and then we had a match, he beat me, and then that was that. But then I came back to Magnum after I had this vision of Yokozuna. So more and more I was talking to Dave about it, and more Dave wanted to get on board with it. So, and since Dave's pretty much an exercise guru himself, it was a perfect match, and now we're back. Hopefully we're going to start dominating like we used to.
That's awesome. I got to take it back, though. I got to ask you, when did you first start liking professional wrestling? Oh,
I was probably 4 or 5 years old when I really started getting into it.
Could you remember your first taste of pro wrestling? What was the thing that caught your eye?
Well, I was a Hulkamaniac. I know he's just everything about Hogan. Hogan's the reason why I wanted to get into it. I really liked other guys too, but Hogan was it for me.
Gotcha. So Hulk Hogan. Any match in particular with Hogan that you remember?
Oh, everybody remembers Andre, but I really liked. I'm also a big Earthquake mark, so I always liked Hogan versus Earthquake.
Okay.
Which was a technical battle right there. Other than that, well, it's just anything Hogan. I've liked Hogan except for that TNA run. I wasn't really into Hogan. Not into Hogan right now either. He looks a little like Droopy Dog in the face, but
he does. He does kind of look like Droopy Dog. That's awesome.
But
when did you want to become a wrestler?
I actually was looking at it when I was just out of high school, but I chose to do the college athletic route. So, and then I got out of that. Then one day I had a friend who I was working with took me to another local promotion when they were doing training, and that's where I met Jason Strife.
Oh, okay.
And Strife kind of did my initial training and got me really wanting to do it more and more. So, and then after Jason Strife, I went up and I trained a little bit with Dan Severn.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it moved me into the MMA world, which I failed
miserably. Did you have any MMA matches?
Yeah, I failed miserably. I won 1. I was 1-1. So, and after that first loss, I'm like, I'm done.
So was it one of those things where you got your ass handed to you and you're like, "Yep, I'm done," or how did it go?
It was a yep. The first one I won on a TKO fairly quick, and I thought I was, the man. And then that second fight, that opponent, he tore me up, but he also had like 40 pounds on me.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually slimmer. I was about 250 then, and he was almost 300 pounds, and he kind of, which shouldn't matter, but yeah, he rocked me like the first time I ever really been rocked, and I was like, I can't. I'm stupid. I'm going back to wrestling.
So do you ever incorporate any of that MMA training over into wrestling at all?
Not really, because I don't really kick. Kind of too big to kick.
All that leg workout though, you should be able to.
Yeah,
kick.
I know. Well, I don't want to go to jail for tearing legs off.
Oh yeah, I got you. That makes sense.
I gotta have some opponent.
Right. I gotta ask you though, when you were talking about college sports, what sports did you play in college?
Football, basketball.
Really? So were you like huge into that all your growing up, like
Yes.
through elementary school, through junior high and high school and all that? So
Yes.
So which one do you prefer? If you had to
basketball.
And I assume with your size, you're going to be a center.
Anymore, no.
No.
in this era, no.
Well, not but back then,
Back then, I was like more of a post. I played post.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
then you just kind of were like, yeah, I'm done with sports, and I want to try wrestling.
yeah, that's pretty much what it came down to, because I still followed it heavily, and then decided to give it a go. Fell in love with it, and here I am, still doing it.
So I gotta ask you, can you recall your first match at all?
Yeah, it was with Yellow Dog.
Okay.
I was the worst. It was probably the best, but the worst match in history of professional wrestling, I think.
So I do have to describe Yellow Dog if people don't know. I don't know if you want to just go ahead and tell people about Yellow Dog if they don't know anything about Yellow Dog.
It's pretty much. I won't tell them who the guy is.
He's half human, half dog, I guess.
Yeah, he's half human, half dog, and he comes out with, the chew toy, pretty much has a pee on you thing, and he humps you and stuff like that. So what happened with our first match, though, it was pretty much my first gimmick. I came up with Dean Dairy.
Okay.
I wore a cow-looking singlet, cow spots and everything. I came out to My Milkshake. Brings all the boys to the yard.
This sounds amazing.
It was. A lot of people want Dean Dairy to come back. So anyways, we did that, and during that whole match, it was in front of maybe 6 people. And I brought 4 or 5 of those people. So our whole match between Yellow Dog and myself, we brought in trash and nachos into the ring, and we're fighting over them.
Okay.
And so at the final, the ref screwed up the whole pin and everything. He counts 1, 2, and I'm staring at him, and he goes, "I guess 3."
He said, "I guess 3."
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, and I was like, "This is awful."
You have a cow versus a dog fighting over nachos in front of 6 people, and the ref barely makes it count. That sounds amazing. I hope you have this on video somewhere.
No, we don't. It was the very, very, very beginning of Magnum before it got to where it is.
Oh,
it was the first run.
Well, that's great. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yes, it was. And the owner of the ring was very upset. I remember that, because there was like nacho cheese everywhere.
That's awesome. That sounds like a good time. So Dean Dairy making a comeback, you said?
No, people want it. And I'm like, the few people I've talked to about it, they're like, yeah, Dean Dairy was really funny. I'm like, but it's a horrible gimmick. It was the worst gimmick ever.
So how long did that last? Was that just like
about a year and a half?
Year? You went on with that for a year?
Yeah, and I was probably the biggest jobber ever. I still pretty much am.
I wouldn't say that. You got your own crew of guys you're running around with now.
Yeah, I know. We're like the new era of Job Squad.
Hey, I'll call you the Union. Is that good?
That's good enough.
Okay,
So,
that's a little better than the job squad.
we, we just like to put people over. So
That's
because we're
great.
superior, we make everybody look better.
That's right. Using the brick now. Now you're suspended.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. That was for real though.
And now,
I really don't like Nate Red Wing.
yeah, I saw the video on the Magnum Pro website.
Yeah, and I've known Nate Red Wing for a really long time. We both come from the same small town. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't like that little jerk off.
Oh, wow.
He's not even a little jerk off. He's a big jerk off actually. But
Harsh words.
yeah.
But now Magnum Pro Wrestling and also Ohio Valley Wrestling. How'd you get in with Ohio Valley Wrestling?
I was contacting Rip Rogers a lot on Twitter, and I kept on sending him stuff to look at,
Mm-hmm.
and he kept on telling me, he's like, you got a lot of hustle and a lot of drive, and I was like, yeah. He's like, I kind of like what you have going, but you're not that good of a wrestler. You're a good entertainer. He's like, I can't help people with that. I can help people with wrestling. He's like, I can fix your wrestling. So he invited me down because I think it's because I'm big.
Right, yeah.
It's not too many 6'4". At that time I was 340 pounds.
Oh, okay, jeez.
So there wasn't that many. There's not a lot of big guys, and he kind of took me under his wing down there. So, and then I got to see how crazy and bitter that guy really is. So
OVW's not like the old developmental territory that it was, right? Because it started out. Well, I don't know if it started out. I know it was like a WWE development territory, and then it stopped, and then it was a TNA development territory.
yeah, it's still sort of a TNA developmental territory. They just recently kind of dropped that logo.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really know all the happenings down there. I know a lot of the TNA guys were working there. I know Rob Terry was down there forever until he just made his comeback with this whatever circus shows going on.
Yeah.
So where he's like a gimp or whatever the heck he is. So, but he was down there too. And then there was Jay Bradley and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Those guys were down there. But other than that, what's her name? That big Samoan. I don't know if she's Samoan or whatever. She was with Gail Kim forever.
Lady Tapa, is that what you think?
Yeah,
okay.
her.
Yeah, okay.
She works down there too. So, but other than that, I don't know. There's no more TNA guys really going down there. I know forever Jamin Olivencia has been trying to get Kurt Angle to go down there, but once that logo thing dropped, all those talks kind of ended. So I have a feeling they're just done.
Oh yeah,
with each other. Plus with all the financial issues.
Yeah, and Kurt Angle's knee's pretty much broken, so he can't. I don't think he'll be there anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't go like he used to.
He's got about the same knee as Rey Mysterio, I think.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio hurts everything. I remember his comeback match or something. He was wrestling Alberto Del Rio and somehow breaks his finger.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I was like, he did like a 619 or something, or something happened.
619 and breaks his finger.
I don't know. He was holding his hand, and then he took the glove off, and his finger was all bent up. I'm like, how the hell did he break his finger? And he did nothing to his hand.
That's funny. That's amazing. So, OVW, is that sort of like a training territory, or how does that work? Is it like, when do they run their shows, and how's that work? Because I know
they run Wednesday, Saturday, and Sundays every week. Wednesday's the TV show where they're on the local Louisville, Kentucky Ion channel, that station Ion, and then Saturday and Sundays is more B and C show, but there's still those A show guys.
Okay.
And previously I was on those B and C shows, more of the C shows, because I just got done training there. And I would text or tweet people. I'm like, on the Sunday C shows, I'm like, there's 9 people here. And I'm acting like it's WrestleMania every time.
Yeah.
So, but this run I have coming up at the end of May into the first weekend of June, they're gonna see how I can work I'm coming in as a bodyguard. So they're just going to see if I can mesh with some of the A-show guys. So, and I know a lot of those A-show guys are going to remember me because I ribbed them all the time.
Oh,
I was
really?
I was backstage a lot.
So what kind of ribs would you pull?
A lot of guys wear like the jocks and stuff, but don't put them on right away. I used to put Ben Gay all in there, or you'd put like Pepper in there,
Yeah.
and then they would put the jock on, and they start burning in the middle of the matches. I'd also put it on their trunks or tights,
Okay.
right in the crotch area.
Yeah.
And you can see on a lot of the shows, like who was it? I hit Jamin Olavincia a lot, and he would start tugging on his area in the middle of stuff, and just you can see him mouthing like WTF constantly.
And they didn't know it was you, though?
No, and I used to lock up all their bags together with padlocks.
Oh, yeah. So they'd all have to try and get them.
So yeah, they one of them finally found out it was me at the end because he caught me.
Oh, really? He caught you red-handed
Yeah,
doing the
but he's
deed?
not with them anymore. So
So does everybody know, or you still
I don't know
still
if
get away
everybody
with
knows. I don't know. We're gonna find out.
it? I'll have to watch their television once you put some more Ben Gay, or we'll check it out. That'll be amazing.
We'll find out if I come back to Magnum all bruised up. We'll know that they found out.
Or if it starts happening in Magnum, I'll know it's you.
I've thought about it, but we got some egos at Magnum
Uh-oh.
that I don't want to. I don't want to ruin some acquaintances with it because I feel like some people might get really mad and take it personal.
Yeah, I could see that going down. That's probably not a smart move. I don't
No,
think.
but I could blame like one of the trainees there.
it was Javiecito.
Yeah. Or I'll just say it was Red Wing.
Yeah, get him in trouble. Put Ben Gay on his stuff. No, I didn't tell you to do that, by the way.
Yeah, might as well. I should have put Ben Gay on that brick.
There you go. So, right now, current state of wrestling, are you a fan of the current product, or?
Pardon me. Yes and no. I feel like I think a lot of people, well, I don't know, I'm going to sound more like the internet, the IWC.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like some of the writing. I think some of the writing really sucks because I don't know if they fully know how to use certain people. But with that said, they're also, I'm not there. They're there for a reason. So I don't know. It doesn't even really matter if no one really likes it. They're still making millions of dollars.
Right. Yeah. That's the
They're
thing.
catering to the kids, and that's where your money is. That's smart business. It sucks for us older people, but the kids is what keeps it going. But honestly, I'm not a huge fan. I don't watch it that much.
Oh, really? Okay. Just wondering. Do you get to watch a lot of indie wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan, any of that stuff? You fan of any of that?
I watched New Japan. Ring of Honor recently. I've started watching again. I didn't like it for a while because there's nothing but huge high spots everywhere.
Right.
CCW this past year really grew on me since they evolved more into wrestling. So
yeah, that's what I've heard. I haven't been getting into CCW, but I have a lot of people who say, yeah, it's not all the ultraviolet stuff that it was. You got to watch.
They kind of mix it up, and they're doing more wrestling stuff now. And it's last year out of those. I don't know if you want to say they're a well-known indie. Pardon me.
Yeah, of course.
They're well-known indie. I would say they're probably in the top. I thought they were above ROH for last year's running, just because that and their IPPVs ran a lot smoother.
Oh, yeah. I heard Ring of Honor had so many issues with theirs, so I don't know about that. But
yeah,
that's crazy. So I get this asked a lot and people ask me for some reason. They go, what would you recommend if you're trying to get in the wrestling business? How would you go about it?
Proper training. Find somebody who's already involved, obviously, because that's the only way you're really going to get into it. Find out how to get into it. I would research or pick the mind of who's training you when you do get involved, just so you're not getting trained like poorly.
Yeah, of course.
Anymore, it's way affordable to do like the camps and stuff, because that's how I started off. I think that's how most people start off. But eventually start either moving into like bigger name people camps, or fork over that money and go to a school or something so you can get and make it a reputable school. So, but yeah, that's pretty much.
So would you recommend going to like a Lance Storm type training school or something?
Yeah, you'd be stupid not to, because it's Lance. I don't personally know. Well, I guess I do know one guy that came from the Lance Storm school, and he's pretty good. But yeah, the bigger the name, usually it seems like the better the school. I mean, because like the Dudley Academy's supposedly supposed to be pretty good. Yeah, the Lance Storm School, OVW, the Rip Rogers throwing more WWE, TNA, WCW, or whatever you want to call it, guys out than anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to be one of them.
You never know. You never know. Do you have aspirations to try to go on to tell? I know there's some guys that just, they just want to be an indie wrestler. They just want to stay local. They don't really care. But what are your goals in wrestling? Do you have any goals?
I honestly would love to move on to the next level. Even, I would anybody would say they wouldn't, honestly, if they had that opportunity, they would take it.
Right.
Is it going to happen? I highly doubt it. So I'm not, I have an education to back up myself on, obviously. So I'm not, if I never make it, I'm not going to be heartbroken. I'm kind of come to terms with it.
Gotcha. So what do you do for a living then?
I work at a local university, and I'm a cyber crime investigator.
Oh, really? I was unaware of that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's a fun fact. So you're internet police, pretty much?
Yeah, for the most part. Make sure no threats between students and towards the university.
So you manage basically their intranet? Is that what it's called?
I was originally just checking out everybody's social media stuff, and then it expanded to just everything in general for like cyber stuff. Yeah, I just handle like anything that's going across the internet for there.
I just imagine you show up with your Michael Monsoon gear on if you're going to take care of some cyberbullying.
Yeah, they don't like to see me, so I have that power. I can pretty much either expel you or kick you out of school if I find the need to. So they know they're in trouble if I'm meeting with them.
You and Javiecito show up knocking on their door. It's going to be a bad time.
he's gonna dance all over your face. If I say
you're gonna have a bad time. No, but that's interesting. How did you get into that? Was it?
It's just the people you know. You got to know people, I guess.
Networking, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much how anybody gets anything nowadays. Networking.
Because it's a hard university to get a job at. Apparently, people tell me, and I swooped right in.
Wow, that's awesome. So you got that. You got the wrestling thing going on. Anything else interesting going on in your life right now?
No, just living day by day,
Doing the daily grind.
Yeah, just living life.
So I'm going to ask you about Magnum Pro High Caliber Live Entertainment, I guess is what they call themselves now. Is that correct? Did I say that?
Yeah, that's
all correct.
I believe that's correct. It is high caliber and it is entertaining, so I don't see why not.
And it is live.
It is live. They should tape it and put it in front of a live audience.
That would be high caliber pre-taped entertainment.
That would be amazing, though.
Post entertainment. I don't know how they would do that, but so what's Magnum all about? And tell people that have never seen Magnum. You want to pimp it out a little bit?
All right, yeah. Although they suspended me, which I don't feel like it's deserving, I will still talk nice about them.
Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have asked you that. I totally forgot about your suspension.
That's all right.
I'm pouring salt in your wounds right now.
It's all right. Maybe if I act nice, they can cut this little suspension a little bit short. Yeah,
because I saw it's indefinitely right now, which means...
Yeah, I'm kind of like, so does that mean I'm done for good, or what is this? Without they didn't even put without pay. I'm not getting. Where's my check at?
You'll just have to take Javicito's check from now on.
Yeah, I plan on it. And his rice too.
All of his rice, of course. So no more rice for him.
Oh, Magnum Pro. It's out of all the promotions I've been to, and I've been to a few, not a ton like some guys, but I've been to quite a few actually. It's a really good roster. I have my problems obviously with one guy, but that's life. You can't get along with everybody, but everybody else is not too bad at all. Everybody's pretty easy to get along with as long as they agree with me. But it's very family entertaining. It's all about family. The crowd gets involved. We like to get the crowd involved. It's from top to bottom. There's really never a bad match, and I can honestly, and if most of us are pretty hard on ourselves about it. If we think we had a bad match, it really wasn't bad. Everybody usually comes back, and you can tell because it keeps on growing month by month. Everybody keeps on coming back, and it's for $10 to $20. It's probably the best money you'll spend for that month.
Yeah, that's exact. I always try to tell my listeners to go check out any independent wrestling anywhere. I mean, just look, type in your city and independent wrestling, and you'll probably find anywhere. But I think independent wrestling, and Magnum specifically, because I'm a huge Magnum mark, I guess I can say. I'm a mark, if you want to say. But I think that for $10, it's the best entertainment you're gonna get out there. And it really is. It's better than WWE. You get more personal. And I think Magnum's growing. I think it's on the up. I think it's gotten a lot better from the Eagle Club shows, and now it's becoming a threat, I think.
Oh, and they just uploaded a website. I think a few days ago it came out. It's www.magnum-wrestling.com, I believe.
Magnum-pro.com. Is
okay,
what it is.
There we go. Thank you very much.
And I did develop that website myself, so you should go check it out.
Yes, definitely. It's extremely nice looking.
And also, I'm the backstage interview person, so you can check me out on there as well. Got to interview you personally.
You did.
After your incident with Nate Redwing.
I know. I was heated.
You were. You wouldn't even bring your church with you. You had to keep him in the back.
I know. And then for some reason, Jane Durago popped in my head, and I couldn't even say that damn bastard's name right.
That's awesome, though. I really am a huge fan of Magnum, though. Like, I used to go to the shows a while, I think it was a couple years ago, and I was like, this is all right. And then when I think Nate kind of changed directions with the show.
Yes.
And now it's a totally different experience.
Yeah, it seems like, Nate and his staff are doing stuff like piece by piece slowly, which has been extremely smart for them, it looks like, because it gets better and better. It seems like in each little piece they add, it just adds so much more to the experience for the fans and for the guys that are entertaining the fans. It's exciting to be there.
Yeah, for sure. They're doing little production values, adding the guardrails, adding the lights. They got smoke, which sets up all the fire alarms, which is pretty awesome.
I'm gonna miss those fire alarms apparently because I'm suspended indefinitely.
That was great though. I think David Javicito had to do a little dance in the ring, waiting for the fire alarms to stop going off.
Yeah, I paid him an extra $1 to go out there to look like a fool. He thinks he looks good, but he doesn't.
So what is his pay? Is he up to $2 now, or?
He's up to about $1.65.
Okay.
But he's got to pay taxes, so I'm also the tax man, and I take out $1, so he gets about 65 cents. But then since he's with me, and I let him be my security, he pays me 60 cents for that. So his take home's about $0.05. And then he goes and saves it up, and I think he buys hot dogs with it.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would probably take a while to save up that money.
It does, but it shows dedication. It shows dedication. I don't know. I think he might be protecting someone else on the side and not telling me.
Oh, probably. You can't have hot dogs without money, so.
Yeah. I got to totally quit burying my head of security. That's all I've done.
All right, let's get back to the real stuff, real talk. Okay, what else? What else we could talk about? We got. I asked you about wrestling, pro wrestling, what you like about pro wrestling, how you got into it, all that good stuff. Any funny stories that come along that like you can recall being on the road, being in wrestling, anything that besides your ribs?
Well, let's see. I can do a quick Rip Rogers story.
Go for it.
He apparently in the 70s tore his asshole.
Okay.
And it never got surgically repaired. So he stuffs TP up there because of the leakage. So one time during training, he just got done getting a hip replacement, so he could barely walk.
Okay.
And he couldn't bend over to wipe his ass. He has to take a shit. So he goes to the bathroom, does his business, and he's yelling out names for somebody to come help him wipe his butt. No one's going there. So over and over, he yells my name. So I was like, fine. I was like, whatever. I go in. I'm like, what? You have to wipe my ass for me. I'm not going to do that. You will wipe my ass for me now. I'm not going to do that. And then he's like, you will wipe my ass. I'm like, so I'm like, okay, I'll suck it up, whatever. So as soon as he bends over, I puke all over him.
Oh, no.
And then he told me to get the hell out. Call somebody else in.
That's the most disgusting story ever. That's awesome.
So, yeah, then that was the end of me having to be called in because every time he'd ask, and I'd be like, I can puke on you. He's like, I don't want you in there at all.
So were you in the doghouse for a while, or how did that work?
Yeah, I was in the doghouse for a little bit.
That's disgusting.
Well, you weren't there to see it in person, see a 70-year-old man's ass with poop hanging out of it.
Oh, no.
And then there's also, it was a road trip with, I was still really new. It was David Clark, myself, Donnie Peppercricket, Jason Strife, a couple other guys too. I think like a Chris Havius, and then not Haviusito, but Chris Havius.
Right.
And then and a couple other guys. We went to an IWA Mid-South show, and this guy, BJ Bunton, myself, and Dave Clark, we came up with the term YOLO before Drake or whoever it was that came up with it.
Yeah.
We were yelling at people, you only live once, constantly during the whole match, like every match at IWA Mid-South. And so we came up with that. We also discovered the greatest beer in the world called Beer 30, where it had clocks all over it on the case, and it said, anytime's a good time when it's Beer 30. It was like a meal in a can.
Really?
Like drinking cottage cheese.
No way.
Full after one, and you were really drunk. So we got really drunk, and then are you family oriented?
No, it doesn't matter. You already told me about puking on some guy's ass.
Okay. Okay, good. Because here we go.
Oh, God.
So anyways, drunk. I forget what this girl's name was, but we wanted her to show the boobs.
Yeah.
We show the boobs. So Dave and I came up with the ab and dick connection.
Okay.
And we would show the ab and the dick. And she still wouldn't show anything. So I was so mad that she wouldn't do anything. I went into the room where I was going to pass out in, and I saw an Afghan. And at the end of the night, that Afghan was standing. You can wonder why and figure it out really quick. And then I found out it was her grandmother's Afghan.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was a good night.
I think I have a few of those in me where you drink too much and have too much fun, but
And then you make an Afghan stand in the corner.
Oh, God, those are good stories. Good times.
Yeah.
Were you were just going down there as a fan to the IWA show?
Just as a fan. Oh, Dave and I were so miserable. We wanted to go back, we were going to buy like $100 car. We were going to pay $200 for a $100 car. We just wanted to go
To rent a car?
Not even rent. We were going to buy a car for $100 car. We were willing to spend $200 for a $100 car. We just wanted to go.
How does this work? How do you come?
That's just how bad we wanted to go.
How do you find a $100 car though?
We never did.
I'm just trying to understand it. What was so bad about it?
I don't even remember. We were just, I think, tired and hungover.
Okay.
I just didn't want to be there. Oh, and then we told Dingo. He's I don't know if he still wrestles or not, but he was a pretty well known Midwest like small lightweight Dingo. He went up to Dave. Dave and I we say a lot of stupid stuff, obviously. Right. So we're horrible together because we're both sociopaths. So Dingo comes up to us. It's like, hey guys, and Dave and I were just done talking about raping and dumpstering people.
Okay, that's always.
Dingo comes up and he's like, hey, what's up, guys? And I forget the exact conversation, but it was along the lines of, yeah, we're going to rape and dumpster this girl or something. And then he goes, oh, all right, guys, I'm going to go talk to these guys. And he sits down and gets on his cell phone, just pretty much superstarred us. Because we weirded him out.
Yeah, I imagine conversations like that. Jesus.
That's pretty much the normal conversations that Dave and I have with people. We weird them out.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about that on this show, but nothing about rape and dump. We'll stick to eating rice and...
Yeah, we really didn't. We never really did do that.
Just a disclaimer right now, none of that actually happened. It was just...
The exact opposite happened.
It was just
none of
jokes. It's all jokes. It's all fun and games, so... Oh, boy. Any other crazy moments in wrestling? Any...
Not anything that's sticking out in my mind at the moment. Just those few stories are the ones that I remember well, and I relive the Rip Rogers one every time I use the restroom. I laugh.
God, that's the most disgusting thing I think I've ever heard. Like, I wouldn't.
Hell, you weren't there for it. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever had to live through.
So do you have really bad gag reflex then?
I didn't. It was just the
smell in the old man and everything.
And the poo that was literally, there.
God.
And I, in the process of him really wanting me to wipe his butt.
Oh, that's disgusting. I think we need to change the subject or wrap this up, whichever one we want to do here. Maybe we'll wrap it up. Any final things you want to talk about? Anything you wanted to mention? Nail on the head? Anything? Or are we just chit-chatting like old pals?
I don't really have anything, to add to anything. So
no, I think that's good. So where can people find you on the internet? On the interwebs if they want to check you out.
You can find me on Twitter with the @ Michael Monsoon. I am on Facebook, but there's like the fan page, which I do not use at all ever. I keep on meaning to delete that. And then there's the regular Michael Monsoon just on Facebook. Just
okay.
Look that up, and that's pretty much, as long as you don't look like spam, I add you.
Yeah, I gotcha. The one thing I never asked you, which I just thought about right now when you're saying your name, how'd you come up with Michael Monsoon? Another earthquake reference, or
yeah,
what?
You know what? Yeah, actually, it was a natural disasters kind of thing. Michael is my legit middle name.
Okay.
So Monsoon was kind of between earthquake and typhoon.
Right.
I was like, well, it sounds kind of natural disastrous. It wasn't from Gorilla Monsoon. A lot of people think it's from Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It had nothing to do with Gorilla Monsoon. I was just always wanted to be... See, I was a huge natural disaster tag team fan. And it was more based loosely off of Typhoon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And what I told some people was I was developed by a drunken night between Earthquake and Typhoon, and Typhoon gave birth to me.
Oh, really?
So, and that's why I have like when I was a face, which doesn't last very long because people naturally don't like me, and I don't know why. I try so hard to be liked.
Maybe it's all that puking on people.
Puking on old men.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
That's probably a fetish. That's for another podcast.
Yeah, I'll get you in contact with the proper people.
Brazers or whatever.
Brazzers, yeah.
Brazzers, whatever.
Sorry, I had to correct you on your porn.
Thank you very much. I don't know. I just know about X Hamster and U porn. So anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about now.
So Typhoon and Earthquake.
Oh yeah.
Equals Monsoon.
I had an idea of if I was going to be face, I was going to have my fans called the Seamen.
Okay.
So obviously water, monsoon, seamen. Like the sea.
The Seaman, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to have a black shirt and have it splattered white
God.
with words that says, "I'm like one of 1 million fans of Michael Monsoon Seaman," or something like that. But it's going to be like splattered in white.
That's so ridiculous.
And that idea obviously didn't happen. So thank goodness. I think I probably would have sold some shirts, actually.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to walk around with a shirt that says Seaman on it. No,
splattered in white.
Yeah. Do you have any of your current merchandise available for purchase?
I'm actually in the works of getting some new stuff.
Okay.
I'm down only to maybe a couple Church of Yoko Zumba shirts. So, but right now I'm working on getting some new merch in, probably by July-ish.
Cool. Sounds good. Anything else we want to mention? We already talked about your Facebook, Twitter, Seaman, all that good stuff.
No, definitely check out Magnum Pro. Check them out. I'm giving them good rub right now because I want to come back. Who knows? But definitely check out Magnum Pro.
All right. That's it.
Thank you.
I want to thank Michael Monsoon one more time for coming on the podcast. If you want to check him out, twitter.com/Michael Monsoon. I think he said facebook.com/Michael Monsoon. Might be out there. But check him out. Support the local independent wrestlers in your area. That's the biggest takeaway from this, is there's so many people out there trying to earn a living doing this great thing we call professional wrestling. We all love it. We all watch it. We all love professional wrestling. And that's why you're here on this podcast. I really want to drive that home, that there are more wrestlers out there than just the ones you see on television. And I kind of want to bring that to you. You get to see those guys that are doing those documentaries, like we had Corey on the show. And we have guys that are doing other things other than WWE or TNA, like Michael Monsoon going to OVW, trying to train, become a better wrestler, just become an overall good entertainer. And now we have Jeff Jarrett out there doing talent scouts on the independent scene. I think the independents are not dead. I think they're thriving. I think they're very successful. You see a guy like Colt Cabana, he's the reason why independent wrestling is so successful, is because they go out there and they try to earn a living, they make their craft, and you know what? Independent wrestling, not mainstream wrestling, usually better than what's on your television. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is, but I'm a fan of independent wrestling. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to the OMG Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back with more. Our regular show is every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. I believe if I did the math right, I always say that every time because I just want to make sure that I do it right. But again, going over to omgwrestling.com, support the show, share this with all your friends, and that is it. Tony Pete's Guy. Right, out.